Good morning and welcome at FIATA, the International Federation of Freight Forwarders Association, here at our headquarters in Geneva. My name is Stefan Gruber and I'm the Director General of FIATA. I'm very pleased to be with you today in order to introduce you FIATA, the main challenges of freight forwarders today, and also our trade education programs. Let me start my presentation. It's a PowerPoint presentation and explain you a little bit more in details who we are. So now you should see my screen. Perfect. So who are we? FIATA is the International Federation of Freight Forwarders. It is a non-governmental membership-based organization representing freight forwarders in more than 150 countries. FIATA's membership is composed of 109 association members and more than 5,500 individual members, overall representing a community with the members of our association members of 40,000 freight forwarder and logistics companies worldwide. As the global voice of freight logistics and the only international organization truly focusing in all modes of transport, FIATA advocates trade facilitation policy and collaborates with all industry stakeholders to further develop approaches for the well-functioning of the supply chain. Through its institute and bodies, FIATA leverages the global expertise of its delegates to tackle today's key challenges and ensure the resilience and adaptability of the supply chain. Combined with a collaborative approach with partner organizations like ICC, the International Chamber of Commerce, the WCO, the World Customs Organization, World Trade Organization, United Nations, for example, UNECE or UNSCAP. We could also mention IATA, the International Air Transport Associations. FIATA ensures representation of freight forwarders around the world, as well as the effective movement of international trade. So in order to illustrate what is FIATA, let me just start a short video.
All around the world, our members in the logistics sector are facing a multitude of challenges. Our members are known to be resilient, innovative, and to solve problems in moving goods. At FIATA, we strive to help and support our members every day. Through the Reset program, FIATA aims at making the organization much stronger and relevant. The Reset program started with a move to Geneva, the heart of leading international organizations, and a nerve center for high-level decision makers in trade and transport. At FIATA headquarters in Geneva, we are building a digital ecosystem to connect the global logistics community. We are creating a more sustainable future in logistics. We are increasing advocacy and strengthening relationships with international partners. We are enhancing training through the professional expertise and cutting-edge training programs. And, above all, we are leveraging membership opportunities. These and many more are becoming a reality at the new FIATA. How will FIATA keep playing a pioneering role in the future of our industry? By opening perspectives that go beyond what has been possible up to now. By building a strong and relevant organization today and tomorrow. The world of logistics is promising. FIATA has already embarked upon this journey.
So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I think now you understand better what is FIATA and what is freight forwarding. So what are the challenges of freight forwarding industry today? I would probably classify it in three main topics. First, and it's an inevitable topic, the COVID-19 pandemic, the role of freight forwarders as essential services, and also now that we see the light at the end of the tunnel, the economic recovery. The second main challenge is digitalization, and I will just touch upon FIATA digital strategy. And finally, probably I would like to address the third topics, that is the education of the workforce in freight forwarding and the ability to supply an adequately trained workforce to the industry. So let's move first to the first of these challenges, the COVID-19. COVID-19 was and remains a major challenge for the logistics sector in its role to ensure the movement of essential goods in the fight against COVID-19, being medical material, COVID vaccines, or goods of first necessity. While freight capacity has been severely impacted by government measures worldwide, mandating the restriction to the movement of people, freight forwarders are representing an essential service that needs to ensure the smooth movement of goods worldwide during and after the pandemic. This is not going without challenges, as you can imagine, such as drastic reduction of air freight capacity in the belly of the planes. From one day to the other, the whole airline industry was severely impacted. And with that, the ability to move freight in the belly of the planes, abandoned goods, blank sailings, container imbalances. Here we are more in the maritime environment. And also a consequence of this is rocketing freight prices, to name just a few of the challenges that we were facing and we are still facing. COVID-19 has evidenced the vulnerabilities of all mode of transport, and freight forwarder, known as the architect of transport, had to search for innovative solutions and different options in order to maintain the functioning of the supply chain. To reply to these unprecedented challenges, FIATA is supporting the industry in different ways by sharing, for example, best practices, by doing awareness building, publishing position paper, really bringing all the expertise of our member to help the companies to go through these challenging times. We also did a lot of advocacy towards together with other international organizations, towards authorities, and also trying to empower the national association to talk to their authorities in order to help them to understand the challenges of our industry and to find solutions so that freight forwarders can continue to exercise their essential activity for the world population. And this particularly, as you know, with the need of moving medical material, vaccines, in order to handle with with this pandemic. The second aspects linked to COVID-19, and this is a very important one, is now the economic recovery. How will we come out of this COVID-19 pandemic? We see that the economy is in a very, very difficult situation. So this brings us to one of the main themes addressed by freight forwarders for a long time. It's trade facilitation. Here we work closely with the World Trade Organization and the World Customs Organization. And we can say that trade facilitation will be key for ensuring the economic recovery in a post-COVID environment. Avoid protectionist behavior, rebuild a highly fractured international trade logistics and supply chain management process. It should encourage regions to work together to increase mutual recognition while strengthening their border processes, for example, through the use of single window and advanced economic operators programs on the regional level. In addition to ensuring the legitimate and safe movement of goods, trade facilitation supports national development plan and stimulates economic growth. In order to ensure that the supply chain can continue to function well and efficiently in the occurrence of unpredicted events like the COVID-19, but we might have and encounter other such events in the future. And also in normal times, all stakeholders will have to work closely with governments in order to set the principles for international trade in multilateral and bilateral trade agreements, and regulators to implement those principles, having in mind the requirements of global trade. That's also one of the main missions of FIATA, is to represent the voice of the freight forwarders in this dialogue with the governments and the authorities in order to ensure a well-functioning international trade. So let's move now to the southern topics, digitalization and the FIATA digital strategy. For this, I have also a short video that I will show you, but maybe just one word on that. Digitalization of trade documents is absolutely key to ensure the supply chain optimization, its reliability and resilience. Digitalization allows to fight inefficiency in the supply chain and bottlenecks, and ensure a more sustainable supply chain by the exchange of data. So let me show you the video now.
Today, most freight forwarders struggle to exchange information and data with their stakeholders, as each of them are using different systems which use different vocabulary to exchange information. There are already platforms that enable participants in the supply chain to connect with each other and exchange data. Unfortunately, most of those platforms take possession of this data, and freight forwarders are progressively losing control of their business towards third parties. FIATA's new digital strategy aims to tackle this issue by defining a safe ecosystem. It will allow freight forwarders to easily share data through a common language, using their existing IT systems while keeping control over their data. To be able to achieve this goal, there are a few mandatory building blocks that need to be put in place as first steps. First, to ensure that participants in the ecosystem can trust each other, they need to be clearly identified. Each participant will receive a digital passport to let them enter the ecosystem and be part of a trusted network. Participants can then decide whom they let access their data. Trade documents are an important part of the information flow exchanged between freight forwarders and their stakeholders. There are already digital versions, but each version differs from the other, and there is no control and consistency in their distribution and exchange. FIATA's digital strategy aims to make FIATA standard trade templates available through the everyday IT tools used by freight forwarders. This will ensure that everyone uses the same standard and up-to-date version of key trade documents. Once the templates are distributed in a controlled way, and each company issuing trade documents can be identified through its digital passport, freight forwarders will be able to digitally sign those documents. Stakeholders will also be able to identify the issuer of the document, as well as to ensure that the data shared comes from a certified FIATA standard template. Once we can easily exchange data that we control, we will then be able to start making sense out of this precious information and take advantage of business intelligence. This will help us identify potential issues, and together, we will be able to enhance the industry. Another important aspect of the strategy is to provide a safe digital environment where FIATA members can exchange about their challenges, help each other, and develop their business network. The strategy is being developed and will be implemented in a collaborative way, involving FIATA members, experts from different international organizations, and software providers. Stay tuned for more information about the different projects that are part of the FIATA digital strategy.
So I think we will stop here. You will find on our website more videos about the FIATA digital strategy that are going more in details on the different elements. I think today the priority is the digitalization of trade documents and the digitization of the EFBL, the FIATA Bill of Lading. And one of the main challenge for this is not so much the digitalization aspects, but it's really in ensuring interoperability between the various actors of the supply chain, the multiple standards existing, and the different modes of transport in a multimodal approach. I think imagining that we will have one single standard applied to the whole supply chain is just a dream, because you have different modes of transport, different types of actors and activities. So once you accept the idea that you will have different standards, you need to ensure interoperability. And here the role of FIATA is absolutely key, because FIATA tries to bring together all these actors, work with the different international organizations representing these actors in order to ensure that they are part of our project and they participate in it in order to ensure this interoperability. And at the end, it will be a win-win situation. So let me now move to the third challenge of our industry today. And I think that's the one that is the core of this presentation, is the education initiative of FIATA. That is in one institute, the FIATA Logistic Institute. It's the one in charge of this. And it's really to supply an adequately trained workforce to the industry. Today, the freight forwarding and logistics sector is facing two major challenges as regards to human resources and its workforce. The first challenge is the increasing complexity of supply chain and logistics sectors, as we saw with digitalization, also with the high competition in the supply chain, the intervention of different actors, regulation, countries. So this brings really a lot of complexity and requires today increasing skills from the workforce working in this environment. There is a clear need to improve relevant educational opportunities to meet these challenges, so workers are fully equipped to handle this increasing complexity. The second challenge is the potential global shortage of skilled workers that our industry might face like any other sector. Overcoming this challenge means not only to adequately train the workforce, but also to attract new talents to start a career in the sector, and having this transfer of expertise between the more senior workforce to the young talents that will make the industry tomorrow. FIATA ambition is in the field of training and education is to address these two challenges. Supporting FIATA members in equipping the industry for workforces with the necessary skills is FIATA's objective and remain in line with our reset program, which intend to position FIATA as the leader in the sector. For that, FIATA has merged its training activities that were in different structure or departments in the past in the FIATA Logistic Institute that was part of the reset program. It was achieved last year, and the FLI, the new Institute for Education and Training in Logistics, started its activity on 1st of January this year. At FIATA, training and education activity take place under the umbrella of the FIATA Logistic Institute. The mission is to develop its program to meet the evolving expectations of the industry and assist future freight forwarders in their career. Here, I wanted to show you the key external objectives of FLI that are first, positioning, training in supply chain, freight logistic, and linked soft skills learning among the priorities and deliverables for FIATA. Participation in the plan, design, and development of educational opportunities and courses for FIATA members, and subsequently, where deemed appropriate, industry in general. Developing best practices, I think that's really key today, as to application and training programs for industry vocational training, continuous process improvement of FLI training, delivery methodologies, and curriculum development. And finally, ensuring that FIATA vocational programs allow for the development of the future human workforce in the industry. All in all, FIATA addresses the needs in vocational education in the freight forwarding and logistic industry. It also fully plays its role to set international standards, which are rare in vocational training, but highly valuable and valued when it comes to a sector which is transnational by nature. Before I move to the FIATA diploma, let me give you a bit more insight of the FIATA vocational training today. Vocational training, due to its proximity with the industry and its practical-oriented nature, has certainly the benefit that trainees are readily employable, if not readily employed, once they have completed their training. The role of FIATA will be more global, is really to set the standards, to audit it on a regular basis, while accompanying the national association in delivering of the training. So it's really the approach that we implemented in FIATA is think global, act local. So we empower the National Association to deliver the training, which allows to have a good understanding of the local requirements. And we set the standards so that when you graduate from our programs, you can have a document that is recognized internationally and will allow you to practice your activity internationally. Yet, as said above, the increasing complexity of the supply chain requires more and more expertise and highly skilled workforce. FIATA believes that the complementarity between academic and vocational training is key today to leverage this workforce. So let me now go to the products of this approach and strategy. And this is the FIATA diploma. And I will describe you shortly the content curriculum of this and also a few words on online trainings. So a major way that FIATA is contributing to the development of a trained workforce which meets global standards are its validated vocational training programs. So diploma contents curriculum. First of all, FIATA offers 2 diplomas, namely the FIATA Diploma in Freight Forwarding and the FIATA Higher Diploma in Supply Chain Management. First, the FIATA Diploma in Freight Forwarding is composed of 14 modules comprising key topics of the freight forwarding industry, such as multimodal transport, air transport, customs procedures, and information and communication technologies in freight forwarding. FIATA Higher Diploma constitutes a progression pathway to the FIATA Diploma in Freight Forwarding. It includes 7 modules, such as purchasing, contract management, and production and operations management. FIATA is also promoting other FIATA training initiatives, and this takes the form of short thematic online training, such as one that we will run at the end of this month, which is the prevention, which is, in fact, we will have a conference at the end of the month, but we launched this course now 2 years ago. It's the prevention of wildlife trafficking. So FIATA is really committed to provide those kind of short online training to FIATA members. What is interesting with this prevention of wildlife trafficking is that it's an online training organized together with some partners on the prevention of wildlife trafficking. And it's available in 7 languages. So if you want to know more, just visit our website. You will see that we are running an event with various NGOs on the 29th and 30th of June that will also give you more insight on this challenge for the supply chain, where FIATA is trying to raise awareness and promote best practices and help freight forwarders to improve their risk management system. The FIATA diplomas validated vocational training programs. FIATA validates 2 vocational training programs with more than 40 association members offering the training program leading to FIATA diploma. It is essential that FIATA ensure the quality of the material. And this is a very important point to the international recognition of the diplomas delivered. Therefore, the course material is regularly assessed and validated by the experts of the industry. The courses are based on the minimum standards, which are the minimum requirements of the training programs. They are the backbone of the FIATA diplomas. Association members can go beyond, but they cannot go below the requirements. And the FIATA minimum standards indicate the content of the diplomas and how much emphasis should be placed on each topic. The FIATA minimum standards ensure really the quality of the diplomas across the association member training program and assess the quality and the recognition of the diplomas worldwide. I can provide you here some figures. Over the past 25 years. More than 17,000 graduates have received the FIATA diploma in freight forwarding, and another 350 students have been awarded the FIATA higher diploma in supply chain management. FIATA diploma in freight forwarding, we have 17,323 diplomas issued since 1996. And for the FIATA diploma in supply chain management, it is, as you can see, 393 diplomas issued since 2013. It shows the experience that we have acquired in these programs, and also the community of people that have obtained this diploma. That is also a strength and a recognition for the quality of this program. So why to pursue a FIATA diploma? Enrolling in this vocational training program and obtaining a FIATA diploma furthers competencies in freight forwarding and provides the necessary skill set that can only be acquired through education. This will enhance opportunities in a freight forwarder's career, especially in light of the global outlook and international reputation of the FIATA diplomas. It's also complementary because it's vocational training to higher academic training. As a reference source on international policies and regulations governing the international freight forwarding and logistic industry, the FIATA minimum standards and diploma curricula include the latest changes in global and regional trade industry practices and regulatory controls. That's a very important point. These provide the opportunity for FIATA diploma recipients and students to apply the latest knowledge, skills, and competencies in the workplace. The FIATA diploma is recognized by thousands of international freight forwarding entities as essential for new hires and progression into the management position. Clients of international freight forwarders will see the benefit of aligning with a business which has highly trained workforce that meets the FIATA standards. Finally, the FIATA diploma take advantage of the fact that FIATA, as an international not-for-profit association, as member in over 100 economies, and its national association, I said we have 110 national associations, and their members, more than 40,000 in the world, recognize the industry qualification. So how can we enroll in the training program? As the courses are delivered by FIATA Association members, they are the ones students should turn to enroll in the training program. We encourage the student to contact the relevant association member, whose contact details are available on our website. For example, in China, it's with CIFA, our association member in China. As such, the association members will be able to give further details on the enrollment procedure, as well as important aspects such as the requirements, fees, and length of the course. So I think with that, I came to the end of my presentation. I hope it gives you an overview of the challenges of our industry, how training and education will help you to be successful in a career in logistics and supply chain, and also the key role that FIATA plays as a policy contributor, representing the voice of the freight forwarders towards government and authorities, and also trying to bring the expertise of all our members in the interest of a strong, resilient, and efficient supply chain. I thank you very much. I remain open for any question you might have. Don't hesitate to write us. You have here the email address of our training department, training@fiata.com. I will be happy to look at your question and answer them in due time. I wish you a very, very good continuation and all the best. Take care. Stay safe.